Okay. Wow. It kind of blew up, and I actually wasn't expecting this, but this morning during the day, uh news broke out of apparently New Jeans making a return to ADOR. Now, I wasn't expecting this, honestly. Um from the last communication that I read, trying to keep up with this, as an outsider. Um Last that I knew, apparently New Jeans made a little statement saying, where was it, the lawyer? He was the lawyer, probably representing them. Came out with a statement basically saying, the relationship between Eugene's and ADOR was basically damaged, and Eugene's probably was never going to want to return to ADOR. So when I saw this, I was kind of surprised. So, I'm actually just checking this out for the first time. So, kind of wanted to get a nice, fresh perspective. So, this is from the Korea Times, of course. Um, let's check it out. I'm actually a little bit surprised, honestly, that this happened so soon. But let's see what we got. Okay, so agency welcomes back. I don't know their names. Padine En, while verifying statement of remaining three. Listen, don't hate on me. I'm stuck with pronouncing names. All right, so Vivian and Eugene's. No disrespect. So. Okay. So I didn't even. Okay. So following Darren and Hines Fern returned to the music label, the other three members released a statement Wednesday evening expressing their desire to return to the old agency. I didn't even know they came up with the thing. Okay. Let me see if I can find that later. All right. So after careful discussions, we have decided to return to ADOR. One of our members is currently in Antarctica, so the communication was delayed, and since ADOR has not yet responded, we had no choice but to share our positions separately. Statement released by Minji, Danielle, and Honey. Okay. In response, ADOR said it is in the process of verifying the authenticity of the three members' decision. Early this afternoon, Hype subsidiary released a statement announcing the return of the two members. Arian and Hayin have expressed their intention to continue working with ADOR, the label said in the official statement. After careful consideration with their families and sufficient discussion with the agency, they decided to respect the court's ruling and comply with the exclusive contracts. So this right here is a little weird in terms how it's worded. So they're in the process of verifying the authenticity. And the reason is because from here, it seems these two members had some, I guess, non public discussions with the agency. So something in this discussion between these two and Hybe / ADOR, something happened where basically they were convinced that, they should go back to ADOR, which is odd because it seems it's separate from the other three. There was kind of two groups going on, which is a little bit weird, especially since because throughout this whole thing, it seemed that all five members were kind of in unison in terms of being against or standing up for themselves and being against Hybe ADOR. So it's a little bit weird how you have two members basically having discussions in the background with Hybe, Not only that, the discussions actually went well enough for them to make an official statement to say, "Hey, we're coming back," which is weird. Really weird. Because then you have the other three. What was it? Who was the other three? I'm so sorry. Oh, whatever. Then the other three, the Minji, Danielle, and Hani, decided to say, "Hey, we're coming back." But it seems that they haven't had the same amount of talks with ADOR that the other two had. It's really weird what's going on behind the scenes. And it kind of shows kind of a split in terms of the two units. Really weird. Now, if I remember correctly, Minji, Danielle, and Hani were probably the most outspoken against ADOR. So it's not surprising that I had something in my eye. They were seem to be the most vocal, at least from what I've seen. Um, so Harin and Hain, if I'm associating their names with the faces, probably weren't as vocal. Obviously, I think they stood behind it, because they supported their I'll just say, for lack of a better, they supported basically their sisters. But it's really weird. So even ADOR is saying like, "Whoa, whoa, not so fast. We haven't officially, you know, we don't officially think that they're back," which is good. I don't fault them for that. They just went through this whole legal dispute, and so they're gonna make sure that Minji, Danielle, and Hani are serious about returning, because the last thing is that I remember, as I said, the lawyer representative said that basically their relationship was irreparable. Okay, so let's continue. The K-pop label said it would fully support the two members' return to the stage and asked fans to refrain from speculating about the group. The announcement comes after the Seoul District, ruled on October 30th. Yep. I already knew that. Okay, during management conflict with DS. Okay, so this is just a remaining. Uh, Now, this whole return is a little bit surprising because it's only been, what, 2 weeks? And from what I also remember, it seemed like that they were going to appeal. So maybe they got with their lawyers, or maybe they amongst themselves felt that they weren't going to win. And it also doesn't help that it seems that Min Hee-jin, who's doing some separate legal battles out on her own, and I guess some of her associates are out on a legal battle, are just losing left and right. Or at the very least, not looking promising in terms of winning their respective lawsuits. So it seems that New Jeans kind of saw what was happening with Min Hee Jin and seeing how she's not winning any of her cases. And it just seemed everything was just going to go against them in terms of, the law and in terms of the courts. So I don't know. Very surprising. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But maybe they also kind of realized that they were kind of led down a not so good path. And some people around them in their circles probably weren't giving them the best advice. And not only that, they probably saw that they got a lot of backlash for this. A lot of backlash for how they acted. Obviously, there were people who would support them, and I can understand why you would support them. They were trying to basically stand up for idol rights. Unfortunately, I think how they went about it was bad to say the least, and it definitely hurt their case. I think they saw a lot of people kind of turn their backs on them. Even if you take out the haters, because there's one thing I know in K-pop, in the world of the fandoms, and I understand how toxic the fans are, and they're hardcore haters of groups. Listen, I one thing I've noticed that they like for New Jeans, they're hardcore haters of New Jeans because they're New Jeans. Same thing for any other band, any other group. Sorry, there it just seems to be like no matter who you are, there's a certain group of people who just absolutely hate you and wish nothing but bad upon you. It's like they live for that. They basically losers. If you want to think about it. So if you get rid of that, if you take away just like the haters and the losers and the keyboard warriors out of it, I think there are people who legitimately kind of got soured on how they acted. But I also think, because remember, it's all about money. I think they realized like they probably lost a lot of opportunities to make money. This kind of happened at the height of their popularity, the peak when they basically can do no wrong. They're on top of the world. They were just releasing hit after hit. They were global juggernauts, and now, honestly, I think the K-pop world kind of left them a little bit. There's so much going on in terms of how the groups are being more global. I mean, you have Blackpink who came back to the fold, their world tour twice in the 10-year anniversary, and their world tour again. And then you have, ITZY coming back strong, the Seraphim coming back strong. You know, you got the new gens coming along. Baby Monster is killing it. Meow is killing it. Cat's Eye is killing it. I mean, they just got a Grammy nomination. I mean, you have new groups like All Day Project. Name them. I think, unfortunately, the world has kind of moved past um, New Jeans. But not only that, unfortunately, because of this whole legal action and, the rest of the groups and companies continued, kind of show that, you know, K-pop can do fine without them. You know, K-pop doesn't need New Jeans. New Jeans needs K-pop. If that makes sense. I think as popular as New Jeans was, and as popular as a brand that they are, I think it kind of showed, kind of don't need them. Everybody else kind of moved on from them. Uh, so I think they kind of realized and kind of made the decision that if this kind of went on any longer or decided not to wear, I think they were just gonna kind of lose all the goodwill that they kind of built up as a group. They were still gonna have their hardcore fans, obviously, and I don't blame them. But I think with this decision, and if they truly are willing to come back, I think this is kind of the right time. Especially now, if you take off the holidays, kind of regroup, gather, spend it with the family, and kind of come back next year, I think they might be in a good spot to kind of come back and regain some of their popularity. But I don't know. I don't know. This was surprising. I'm sure more stuff is going to come out. At least for the time being. If I'm hype, I'm a door. I am happy we won because I'm an executive over there. I am super happy. We won the case. Courts were sided on this, and now we have the group that wants to come back, which means money. I got a chance to make money. If you're in Eugene's, part of them probably, unfortunately they lost. They took a big loss. And maybe with the whole court case going against them, I think they probably got a little bit humbled. And they probably realized either A, maybe they weren't, maybe what they thought was reality wasn't correct as much as they thought. B, if I could be more cynical, I think they understand that as a group, they need to get back into it because I believe one of their desires that they want to perform, they want to be out there for their fans, and I think the sooner they come back, the better. I think they still have this window of opportunity where if they come back, I think they will be just fine. I think they'll go right back to the top. And kind of reclaim kind of their status as, the best and the most popular in K-pop. But who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna go on from here on out. At least I think this is a positive thing. And kind of go back. Eugene's can go back to performing in front of the fans, in front of the world, and get popular and get their money. ADOR, hype, this is good for them because they know they have the courts behind them and they're right. But we'll see. Obviously, try to keep up with it if any other major news pops up. But yeah, this was kind of surprising. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share, you comment. Make sure you subscribe. And yeah, this was shocking news of potentially all 5 members of New Jeans returning to ADOR. And I'll see you on the next one, guys. Bye.